Let's welcome a gallant warrior, Sugar Shane.
Well, it's a great fight, man. He's a great fighter. He's very strong, very fast, and very unpredictable. And he won the fight, and that's the thing. I mean, I like to thank my trainer and team, everybody for a great camp and working hard and stuff like that. But I guess I fell short. And Manny's fighter is a pound king. Any questions?
Hey Shane, over here to your left. Just wanted to ask you, Bob had said, you had mentioned it was power more than speed that was the difference in the fight. Now, if you could comment on that. And secondly, since you fought both Mayweather and Pacquiao, can you compare them? What one guy is stronger at, what the other guy is stronger at, and how you think they would fight?
The fight would be interesting, but I think that Manny definitely has good punching power. I wouldn't say physically strong, but good punching power. Different type of punches that I haven't felt from anybody else. Mayweather is definitely the more technical, defensive, but very skilled fighter. So I mean, it would probably be pretty interesting if they both fought to see what exactly will happen.
Shane, my question is, were there openings in the last couple of fights, including tonight, where you saw openings where you just couldn't pull the trigger on them?
I'm not sure if it was that I seen openings that I couldn't pull the trigger on, but there were shots that I seen that sometimes there could have been traps, set up for traps, and Manny, like I said, his punching power was a little different in there, so you never know what can happen.
Shane. All right, you were quoted earlier on that the knockdown punch you tasted earlier in the fight is the most legitimate knockdown ever. What do you mean by that?
I've been knocked out by Vernon Forrest. That was a strong knockdown punch, and the second time was going to be with Manny Pacquiao. That was a shot that I took, and I really felt it. So it went down.
How hurt were you?
I was pretty hurt. I was pretty stunned, and surprisingly, stunned. It didn't seem like a big shot to me when he threw it, but the impact of it was very, very strong.
Hey, Sugar Shane?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I was style from Houston Style. This is Rebecca from Houston Style. I wanted to ask you a question. Based on your experience, would you consider your performance tonight a technical or analytical fight?
It was a little technical and a little analytical, both. Like I said, Manny Pacquiao had the type of power that I had to kind of watch out for. Usually, I can just go in there and punch with different guys, but it seemed like he had a little something different, so I had to watch out.
Shane, to your right. There were times and moments throughout the fight that you seemed to did not take advantage of opportunity that you could have just poured it on him. What was it that was holding you back?
I guess I'll say it again. Like I said, there were different punches they threw that didn't seem to be hard, but the impact of it was hard. So I had to really watch out for these different shots when I threw. But like I said, man, he's a great fighter, and he threw some pretty good punches.
First of all, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here, man, and get out of the ring safely. And I want to thank my team. Did a wonderful job with me through my training camp, and my wife, and my family, and everybody that helped me and allowed me to be able to train. I want to thank all the media, everybody that got that got behind me. I want to thank all the fans here. I want to thank Top Rank, man. I want to thank Pacquiao, his whole camp, man. They did a tremendous job in their training camp to get prepared for me. I have no excuses tonight. Pacquiao was a better man tonight. He showed what he's made of. This dude still has it. The reason why I love Pacquiao so much is he never ducks an opponent. He always willing to face the best, and he faced one of the best tonight, and he came out on top. So Manny Pacquiao is a true champion, unbelievable fighter, and I have much respect for him and his team. I'd like to thank HBO, MGM Grand Hotel. I set defeat like a man. I lost tonight, but the war is not over. I'm gonna go back to the gym, get better. It just means I need more work, and I will become champion again. I promise you that. I will be champion again. So I hope everybody was entertained tonight, man. I fought a courageous fight against Manny Pacquiao, man. I did my very best. So thank you all for coming out, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Questions. Tim's really has an aching leg, so you want to get him off the leg.
No excuses. No, I'm good. No excuses. I'm good.
Tim,
yeah, thank you.
Right in front of you. You were winging those punches. You know, everybody thought maybe you would box like you did against Marquez. What, you know, why did you opt for the strategy of firing those big shots?
That was the only way I was gonna win the fight, man. I knew that, you know, speed for speed. I knew the rounds would be close. Pacquiao was very experienced. He knows how to land punches, and if I don't knock this guy out, I didn't think I was going to win a close round. So I was just going for the knockout, like I told everybody I was going to go for, man. And he said I hurt him in the 4th round, man, and with a big shot over the top, try to finish up. But man, he's, like I said, he's real experienced in the ring.
When he bounced back, did you notice it right away, or did you just find out later that he was hurt?
I didn't really notice it. I heard my corner screaming, he's hurt, but you know, he's in tremendous shape, man. He recovered just like that, and he got his distance and recovered and fired right back.
And I want to ask you, since you've been in with him twice in the last 2 years, what is his punching power like? You know, he had that run in 08 and 09 where he was just destroying guys, and he hasn't had a knockout since. Does he still have that real sharp snap on his punches?
Yeah, he really does. He still has the real sharp snap. I believe in the first fight, his punching power was way harder. I was able to take it. It was very effective tonight. He dazed me a couple of times during the fight. But I still was able to, stay up on my feet. But I had no control of my balance, man, this time around.
Tim, you seemed a little winded in the second part of the fight. Were you?
I wasn't winded at all, man. I don't want to make any excuses and take anything from Pacquiao tonight. He fought a successful fight. I don't want to mention anything that happened to me. So, but I wasn't winded.
You don't want to talk about the calf at all?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to take anything from Pacquiao tonight. He fought a courageous fight. He did his best out there, and I have to accept defeat like a man.
Tim, did you feel like he did show the killer instinct tonight? I know there was times
he went for it. He went for the knockout. Oh yeah, he definitely did.
And when you just said that you respect him so much because he's not a guy who ducks guys. I mean, obviously the Pacquiao fight, he could fight Marquez next, but he could also fight Mayweather. Isn't this the time for those two guys to get it on from your standpoint?
Well, of course. I mean, the boxing world wants to see that, but that's their quarrel. I don't really want to comment too much on it.
I know you don't want to talk about the injury, how it factored in the fight, but can you just tell us when it happened? Can you just tell us when it happened? And how?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, man. It happens, but I continue on to fight my fight, and I did the best that I can tonight, and I fought a greatest fight, and I hope all the fans enjoyed it, man. It was very, very entertaining for me. I had a fun time, man, doing it, and Yes, sir.
How different must be Pacquiao you met tonight compared to your first fight?
Pacquiao, he used his experience tonight. He was fast, but it wasn't nothing I ain't never seen before. But, you know, he would drop feints, come over the top, shoot, you know, jabs from long range, step around. When I started being aggressive, that's when he was very successful. When I stayed back, I had a lot of success using my jab and moving and counterpunching. And I was counterpunching effectively, but, you know, I knew the rounds were close and I knew I had to step to him. So I just gave it everything I had towards the end and put myself in harm's way. But, you know, this is boxing, man. I was just going, like I said, I was going to shoot for the knockout.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches a todos, contentos con este gran triunfo. Me siento feliz.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm very happy with this victory. I feel so happy.
Yo creo que ahora sí ya nos hizo justicia la revolución, justicia divina, y la verdad que esto es gracias a la preparación, gracias a todo el trabajo que hemos hecho. Estoy muy feliz. Este triunfo no solo es mío, sino de mi equipo de trabajo, de mi familia y de todos los mexicanos que nos estuvieron apoyando aquí.
This victory, I think the revolution makes justice to us, and this victory is not only my victory, this victory is for the entire country of Mexico. I feel very happy.
Primero quiero agradecerle también a Bob por la oportunidad, a HBO, en especial a Fernando Beltrán por insistir en esta cuarta pelea, y a toda la gente, a mi familia, a todo mi equipo de trabajo, a los doctores Ángel y Memo, un gran preparador y un gran médico, que la verdad estoy muy contento. Yo creo que hicimos un trabajo excepcional durante 4 meses y medio y aquí están los resultados y me siento muy feliz y la verdad que trabajamos para esto.
I am very grateful and I am very happy, very grateful with Bob Arum, very grateful with HBO and with all the people who were involved in making this fight possible and for the insist in making this fight possible. So I am very happy and very grateful to all the people involved in this tremendous promotion.
Bueno, muchas gracias y otra vez quiero agradecer a todos los mexicanos por el apoyo que me brindaron, y no nada más los mexicanos, sino los latinos.
I want to thank all the Mexicans, all the Latins who were supporting me in this fight.
Muy contento y yo creo que ese triunfo es para todos ustedes y el triunfo para mi familia y el triunfo para toda la gente. Muchas gracias, estoy muy contento y esto es para el equipo y todos los mexicanos. Gracias.
This victory is for all of you, for all the people, for all the Mexicans, for my family, and of course for all of you. I'm very happy, very happy. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support.
Fernando, over to your left here. To your left. Juan, go to the podium if you don't mind. Congratulations. Last year when you fought here, you were angry. You thought you won the fight and you got screwed out of a decision. And you said, I might retire. Are you glad right now that you made the decision to stay?
Sí, muy contento después de que ahorita ya lo que queríamos era que el referee me levantara la mano y de alguna manera terminar la pelea sin ninguna duda, y así fue, y la verdad que estoy muy contento. Ya estaba a punto de retirarme, pero bueno, yo creo que como lo dije, existe la justicia divina y hasta que nos hizo justicia la revolución.
No, I believe I'm very happy that I didn't retire. I was going to retire last year, and now I'm very happy. I wanted the referee to raise my hand, and now I feel great that I leave no doubts in this fight against Manny. And I leave no doubts the way that my victory became. So I'm happy that I didn't retire last year.
And you also, in the first 3 fights, landed so many of those counter right hands, and tonight, you know, that was the punch that was the difference. Can you talk about what you saw on that final sequence? Manny appeared to miss a punch, and you landed him with a counter right.
Puedes platicar un poquito de las derechas, que las otras peleas le metías muy buenas derechas. Puedes platicar más o menos cómo fue que te.
Bueno, estábamos trabajando esa mano derecha. Yo dije que esta pelea iba a ser muy importante, el cambio, por muy mínimo que sea, iba a ser importante y así fue. Manny Pacquiao estaba tirando golpes, después que yo terminaba de tirarme, contragolpeaba y yo resultó de que yo lo contragolpeé. Cuando él me lanzó el jab, yo me metí a su guardia y le tiré la derecha, donde lo conecté bastante sólido y se acabó la pelea.
I was counter punching him. He was throwing a lot of punches, and when he was missing, I was trying to counter punch him. And the right hand, I get in under his guard, and I threw the right hand when he missed a punch with me.
Floyd, Manny was up here talking about how he had an injured right shoulder training camp. And it started really hurting in the third round. Did you notice that it looked like he had a problem in the ring?
I'm gonna answer that question the best way I know how. I had injuries also going into this fight. And if he would have came out victorious, one thing I could have got up here and said, you know what? I gotta show respect and just say he was the better man if he beat me. Both of my arms was injured, both of my hands was injured. But, like I said before, I will always find a way to win. And it really doesn't matter who I fight. It don't matter. I can, just like when I fought Ricky Hatton, when I knocked Ricky Hatton out after the fight was over, they still booed me. They still were screaming, there's only one Ricky Hatton. So that's what I'm used to. And when I was in the fight, my dad was constantly saying, because every punch that he throw, the fans would scream, his fans would scream and cheer and go crazy. So mentally, my dad was thinking the fight was close, because my dad was saying, pick up the pace. But I knew in my heart that I was beating him. I thought I was beating him easy. Out of the 12 rounds, I had at least give him 3 rounds out of the 12. But a lot of times he was applying pressure, but he wasn't letting any punches. And I was constantly keeping a jab in his face. But Manny Pacquiao is one hell of a fighter, and I see why he's where he's at in the sport of boxing.
Floyd, congratulations.
That's Dave Mayo, I know him.
I'm here. Congratulations. A couple of things about the fight. The shot he went to the left hand in the 4th round kind of staggered you. What relative to other punches you've taken, where was it?
He hit me with a solid shot. You gotta realize, with my career, early on I was extremely active. I was always fighting. Whereas now, I take so much time. Many just fought Algeria. And last time I fought was September. When did he fight Algeria? I don't know if I'm calling the guy's name out right. I don't know.
November.
So he just fought in November. So he's a little bit sharper than I am. It's just like this. When you're in a contact sport, you're always engaging in battle. You can take a shot a lot better. To whereas if I'm sitting off 6, 7, 8 months, and I get in the big fight and I get hit with a good shot, like damn, it wakes me up. Like, okay, now I know where we at.
There was that little moment, I think it was at the end of the 11th round, where he banged his gloves together and tried to kind of encourage you. You banged your gloves back and jabbed him. When there's a little kind of exchange between fighters, where were you with the fight at that time? Did you think you had him?
I knew I had him from round one. I came out there, I filled him out. I wanted to see his certain moves, I wanted to see his jab, because if he uses jab, I'm going to counter over his jab. If he uses jab, I'm going to slide over and counter with a right hand, or I can pull up his jab and hit him with a jab. Everything is just calculated moves. I'm 10 steps ahead of any fight. Even like when he hit me with a real good shot, I tell you, I said, just stay right here, you've been here before, you know what it takes, just wait, he gonna shoot slow, make him miss. Then what I do is go down to his body, slow him up, slow him with the body shot, look down body, feint him, touch him with the jab.
One thing is sure, you watch a Tim Bradley fight, you get 100%. This guy really, it was, I think, one of the most crowd-pleasing fights that I've seen in a long time. So let me call him to the microphone, and Eddie, and let them say a few words, and then you can fire some questions. Tim?
give all praise to God for allowing me to exit the ring safely and for allowing me to be here fighting at the highest level in boxing. I'm all up for questions, man. Anything, I want to thank my team, I want to thank my wife, I want to thank Teddy, I want to thank, we came up short, thank you for the clap, appreciate that. Came up short tonight. Manny Pacquiao was strong, he was solid. He somehow knew what I was going to be doing, where I was going to be at. Him and Freddie Roach came up with a great game plan. And I got defeated, man. He's phenomenal, he was strong, man. Fast and strong. But questions?
Tim, right in front of you. I just wonder, you know, in your first fight, the one that you won, there was 1,500 total punches thrown. Manny himself threw 751, you were 800 something. Tonight the combined total was 741. What happened in the ring that made the punch total go so much lower than it had been the first time? It was a third of the total.
Well, Manny was luring me in. That's what he was doing. He was waiting on me to commit, to lunge in so he can counter me. And then in spots he would attack me in spots. But he was waiting on me. You know, he was being the ocean tonight.
So in your opinion, now that you reflect back on it, what should you have been doing? Make him come to you? Would that have been the thing instead of...
Yeah, I mean, I did everything I can to try to get him to come to me. I would jab, get out, but he was just super smart tonight. He was a smarter man tonight, and you know, that was it. He was just super smart. He knew where I was going to be at. He was making me the law.
And I just wanted to ask you, after you have been in 36 rounds with him, you fought a lot of great fighters in your career. Can you put him into context, you know, how good he is and, you know, where you think in recent boxing history with yourself and Mayweather and Marquez and all those guys, where this guy ranks?
Well, I mean, he's the best fighter that I ever faced, honestly. He's explosive. He has a lot of experience. He got a lot of power, a lot of speed. He's the best fighter I've ever faced in the ring. Yeah.
Tim, over here to your left a little bit. Tim, I have just a couple of questions for you. Tim, you said afterward that you didn't do good enough for Tim Bradley. Can you tell us what you meant by that?
That I didn't do good enough?
Yeah, you said for Tim Bradley.
Well, I fought the best I could tonight. I don't know what was going on. I wasn't sure what was going on. I wasn't tired, but it just seemed like Manny was always in the right spots. He was always in the right spots. He was always looking to counter me. You know, I was trying to get my jab working, getting around him, but he was just smarter. He was just smarter than I was tonight, honestly. He was a step ahead of me. I was supposed to be a step ahead of him. So I couldn't really, every now and then I'll find a rhythm, but then I'll lose my concentration at the end of the round, and he would try to come on and steal the round. But he was just always on top of me, man. He was always just a step ahead of me, and I was supposed to be a step ahead of him tonight.
Based on what you saw tonight, do you think Manny Pacquiao should retire?
No, Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be retired.
Love you, Tim!
Terry, hey, thank you, guys. My spirit is not crushed, man. You went through me, and it's all good. I'm happy.
Tim, you said several times that Manny was smarter tonight. Was he better tonight than he had been in the first two fights against him?
Yeah, he was very patient. He was very patient, and he was just waiting. Like I told you, he was just waiting on me. He was waiting on me to make mistakes. My trainer kept telling me to stop lunging, but I felt like I wasn't able to hit him. I wasn't able to get to him. You know, he wasn't. You know, he would commit in spots, but he would get out quickly. You know, what I was trying to do is I was trying to lure him in and then get out and then fire back at him. But you know, when he made a mistake, he corrected really fast, and I couldn't jump on top of him. I was a step behind.
So, in spite of the fact that you had 24 rounds with him and thought you knew him, he did things that you didn't expect tonight?
Yeah, he just used distance, and you know, he just anticipated on me coming in, and he countered.
Hi, Julian Fortaleza from Philippine Asian News City, Canada. In the middle of the fight, it seemed like you're having more success landing the right hand. Were there any specific adjustments you made to improve your performance?
Well, we were trying to time him coming in. You know, we caught him a few times, which had him more cautious than usual. As you saw, he wasn't coming in very comfortable. And you know, we feel we stunned him, but you know, he was very quick on his feet. You know, when Bradley said that he was complaining about his toes, you know, he definitely got to stay on his toes, Manny, and you know, he's quick. You know, he was in and out real quick, and I feel that was, you know, I stayed trying to connect him with the right hand. He was coming in and out. It wasn't that easy to connect.
Jesse, right here in front. When you were in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, I know we spoke a lot before the fight. You know, what were you thinking? What would you like to be in the ring with such a great fighter, legend, all the things that Manny has done? Very confident. When you got in the ring and you went 12 rounds with this guy, even though he won the fight, did you feel like you were out of your depth with a guy like him because of everything he'd accomplished and how he was handling you? Or did you feel like, even though you lost it, you felt like, you know what, I belong here in this kind of fight and I can compete, even though maybe you didn't go very good to me?
Without a doubt, I belong there. You know, this is where I belong. I mean, to have Manny Pacquiao think 2, 3, 4 times before coming in, I mean, he wasn't coming in comfortably. You know, I was trying to catch him every chance that I got. You know, but you know, which made it a chess match. It made it very interesting, very intriguing. I mean, we were both thinking in there, trying to connect with different shots. You know, like I said before, Manny Pacquiao wasn't as busy because he knew that I was waiting for him to come in. I was trying to connect as much as I could to get the fans a good fight, but you know, I hope that they enjoyed it overall.
One other question for you, Jesse. Can you describe the punching power that Manny still has? He hasn't had a knockout for a long time, but he's been scoring knockdowns. Obviously, he dropped you. Can you just compare his power to some other guys you may have been in with, and how does it compare?
He has good speed. When he caught me in the beginning of the fight, I didn't see the punch coming, which you know resulted in a flash knockdown. But I got back up and I made sure to time his speed down, and that's when the right hand started coming in. But then he was starting to be very cautious with my right hand, and which resulted in him not being as busy.
Jesse, did you feel frustration that you couldn't connect with the right hand? And if so, what point of the fight were you starting to get frustrated?
I wasn't frustrated. I mean, he wasn't connecting that much. Well, at least I felt. You know, I have to look back at the videos, but you know, he would do some flurries every now and then, but they weren't connecting very much. He would connect with that left from time to time, and I would connect with my right from time to time. So I thought it was an even fight, to be honest. That's what I felt inside that ring. I don't argue with the judges, but I felt that it was a close fight, and that's what I was feeling. So I mean, I belong here, and I know that I'm sorry that I let my fans down in this fight. I hope that they enjoyed it, and I plan to use it as experience, come back stronger, and capture another world title. I mean, this is only the beginning of my career. Manny Pacquiao has more world title fights than I have fights. You know, I'm still very young, and I'm going to use it as a learning experience. I promise to get better from it and to come back and capture another world title. I'm not going to win.
Thank you.
How's it feel, Jeff?
Oh, it feels amazing. Feel on cloud 9 at the moment. Feel a bit tired, a bit bruised, but feel like a winner.
You are one.
Jeff, yeah.
Hold on, please. Microphone.
Oh. Jeff, congrats, mate. Look, $1 million, by the way. Mate, you really pressed the issue from the very moment the fight started. People were trying to guess what your game plan was, but just take us through those first couple of rounds, how you felt out there, how you got into your work, and how you just adapted to Manny.
I just felt like he couldn't get a hold of my gap, and I was feinting a lot, trying to upset his rhythm, and I think that was working throughout the majority of that fight.
Hi Jeff, how are you? You didn't seem at all overawed by the occasion. Just how did you mentally deal with such a huge crowd?
Look, I feel like I perform like much better in front of a crowd. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just wired that way. If no one's there, I usually just don't try very hard. But the more people you have in the ring, even if I'm just sparring and it's not competitive, I still perform a lot better. I usually have a really bad last spar, but I had the whole gym was packed on the day, and I had a real good last spar. So it's just going to be 10 times better when I have 50,000 people there cheering me on.
Jeff, congratulations. But just take us through those moments. I think it was in the 9th round. Looked like we were in a bit of trouble. It was a really tough moment of the fight. I mean, what kept you going when in that difficult moment?
Look, that was just, I guess, my heart just kept me going. I was just like, yeah, he got me with a couple of good shots in that round, and I did go back probably more in that round than any other round of the fight, but I still felt good. A bit blurry in that right eye. I don't know if it was a head clash or it was a punch. But I came back in the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
So what did...
Don, hold on, please.
Sorry. So what did Glenn say to you after the rocky 9th round, a little bit rocky in the 10th round?
Yep, so he let me know that we lost that round and Manny won that one, and the ref then came over and said, show me something or else I'm going to stop the fight. I'm like, hey, hold on, hold your horses. We're not that bad. We can keep going for sure.
Somebody remarked that you undid the tape yourself with time so you could get a respite.
I don't know how to do that. It's a good magic trick if I could do that. I'm good at magic, not that good.
A bit hard for the boxing club on to do something like that. The referee actually asked me, do you want me to stop the fight at the end of the 9th round? But I said, no way. I said, no, I know Jeff, no way. I knew that give him a minute to clear his head, he was good to go again.
Glenn, question for yourself. You came under a bit of scrutiny over the course of this week leading into the fight. How vindicated do you feel right now?
Well, we always said we would shock the world today. And I said yesterday, today would be Sunday, bloody Sunday. And I just knew, I could see in my mind's eye that this was going to be a war. And we kept saying that. We said this is going to be a war. I mean, Freddie Roach had mentioned I thought it would be an early day. And I said, no way, this fight's going to go deep. This is going to be deep, and this is going to be a test of spirit. And the two warriors out there, and Manny fought it out right to the end. He tried his hardest, but Jeff was just a young lion, as we said. He was hungry, he was skillful. He wasn't just, people thought, oh yeah, he's just a Ricky Hatton, he's just going to come in and try and bully him. We had, as you know, a 10-point plan. We stuck to that plan. We went through it carefully, what we had to do. It worked. We just had to execute well on the day. And there's nobody better that I know of that can execute a plan than Jeff Horn. He can really execute a plan. It was tough. I mean, every round I was putting adrenaline on that eye. Every round I knew if the blood started to run into his eye, we're in trouble. So I was mindful that we had to contain that. That's a pretty nasty cut. So, these things come out of left field. They try to derail you, but we weren't going to be denied today. Neither Jeff nor I were going to be denied. We come here to win. We didn't come here to put up a good fight. And I know that Bob had said, even if you put up a good fight, you'll still be big in the US. Whilst I respect Bob for that, I can tell you there is no way we just come here to put up a good fight. We came here to win.
On your Russia.
We did win.
Congratulations, Jeff Horn. Congratulations, Glenn. Can you just talk about, Manny Pacquiao's speed and power?
Look, he was quick when he put the combinations together, but I felt like the gap, controlling that gap, that distance, it really made it a lot easier to see his punches coming, and I could easily just step back and dodge a few of them and then counter it with my own. So that aspect, which is just the size difference of both of us, was a big advantage.
None other than the fly fast she won with the 40 quarters on Adrian Broner.
As you can see, I wear these glasses for fashion. I ain't got a mark on me. It was a hell of a fight. I give props to Manny Pacquiao. I ain't about to go up here and go crazy. I ain't got to. My performance tonight talked for me. They thought I was gonna come in here and be in the mud, and they was just gonna move around me and fuck me up. And I came and I gave them what they wasn't looking for. If you ask me, I feel like I won the fight. I'm not about to sit here. I'm not about to sit here and with a sad face. You know, I'm alright. I'm alright. And I will be back, and I will be champion again.
And you run again?
And all you motherfuckers will still tune in. At the end of the day, I'm still AB. I'm the same person. Y'all never seen me fight like this. Y'all never seen me in shape like this. I dedicated myself, I put the work in, and I came and I worked my ass off. And with that being said, I'll answer a couple of questions before I go enjoy myself for the night. I ain't having no fucked up night tonight. I swear to God I ain't. I feel good. I feel good. I still look good. And right now, it's time to cash checks and have sex, man.
When you jumped up on the ring ropes after the fight, and then you said in the interview that you thought you won the fight, you come here, you say you think you won the fight. I struggled with that because I looked at some statistics in the fight. It was clear he hurt you several times in the fight.
He hurt me a couple of times.
Right. You landed 50 punches in the fight. You only threw 200 and something punches. We talked about that you don't let your hands go. You did in this fight. You landed one punch in the 12th round. I wonder if you really believe in your heart. You actually won the fight.
Yeah, hell yeah, I believe I won the fight. Shit, that's just like when you believe that you want cheese on that burger. You know what you looking for. Hell yeah, I feel like I won. Come on now. Now we got a love-hate relationship. Don't let me do this. I got the mic. I'll fuck you up here now.
I've got the mic too, my friend.
Yeah, I'll fuck you up here now. But I really did believe that I won the fight. Like I said, man, you know, I'm gonna answer anybody's question. I don't feel bad for myself. I feel good. What's up? What's up with you?
Baby.
What up, baby?
Tiffany had South Central News. She ready.
What up with it?
Gang gang.
Gang gang, on God now.
All that. Question for you.
Yeah.
Can you hook your girl up with a Fashion Nova outfit?
Man, you got whatever you want, man. Hey, and I'm gonna let you know. Just like I came out and performed and I ain't get the decision. Keep your head up, girl.
Oh boy, don't trip on me because she ready and she winning. I'll be in here in Vegas next week tearing it up. Don't play with me. Okay.
Keep your head up, man.
My head staying. Ask any dude that mess with me. She ready.
Senator Pacquiao wants to thank everybody. He's got a little bit of cold, so he's going to go. He really thanks Adrian Broner for everything. Gave it a heck of an effort. He will be back as a champ. Champ!
Good job, Manny. Hey, Adrian, which part of the fight made you think and say that you beat the senator tonight?
I feel good, man. You know, I'm gonna go back and watch the fight. But with my performance tonight, I feel like I won the fight.
So we're getting ready to start the press conference we have here. Keith Thurman put on a valiant effort tonight. It was a great fight. Let's give it up for Keith. And we're going to bring Keith up to make an opening statement, and then we'll get started. We'll get it kicked off.
What's up, everybody? Tonight was a great night of boxing. You know, the opening rounds didn't start off the way that I wanted them to. Manny Pacquiao had a lot of momentum from the knockdown. I ended up paying attention to the rounds. By the time we hit the 7th, I was like, damn, we're in the 7th already. The fight just really flew by. As my original trainer said, smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose. There was just some adjustments that I didn't make, that I could have made. Obviously, he caught me with my hands down in the first round. You know, I was aware of Manny Pacquiao's springiness. I was aware that I should have done my head movement, but being aware and doing what you need to do are two different things in the ring. So like I always said, I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. I was beaten tonight, and that's the sport of boxing, baby. But your boy Keith One Time is here. And I'm not going nowhere, and I'll be back.
Okay, now we're going to open it up for questions. We have one right here, Kevin Iowa.
Let me start with Keith. Keith, great fight tonight. I wonder, first of all, there was a lot of talk about Manny being 40 years old before the fight and being a legend. When you got him in the ring, how was he different than you thought? Was he faster, and was there any way that he surprised you with what he did in the ring?
Oh, he was fast, he was strong. You know, the short steps, you know, everything that Manny Pacquiao always has been, you know, he has a lot of it still left in him. I felt like, you know, I was going to give him a pressing fight, you know, even though he knocked me down. I didn't care, I wanted to be in his face. I felt like he was getting a little bit tired in the later rounds, but he does train hard. You know, he trains hard. He kept his hands up. He's been in so many wars that now he knows what not to do. You know, he knows how to utilize his defense a little better, and that was a little bit surprising to me. I knew going into this fight that he's been the more active fighter than me, and even at the age of 40, that's probably the best thing he had going for him, is the constant activity to keep him staying in shape. You know, I told everybody I'm getting back this year after 2 years, and I just thought that Keith Thurman getting back, being the original Keith Thurman, would be able to walk away with a victory today. You know, I felt like I had a good training camp. I could have had a better output in my numbers to go toe-to-toe with Manny Pacquiao, because, you know, he always brings that the high output. But it was a great fight, man. You know, I feel like I tested him, and I tested myself. I wish that I could have given him more. Like I said, though, the rounds were flying by, and it is what it is, man. This is a sport. You got to lock it in round by round, and the judges, you know, they saw it their way, and he's now the new champion. Congratulations to Manny Pacquiao.
Thank you, Keith. Keith, the shot that Manny hit you with in the 5th round, how much damage did that do to your nose, and how was it for you to deal with that for the remainder of the fight?
It wasn't that bad. It just hit me in the right spot and created a leakage. At the end of the day, I had my nose bleeding and sparring a little bit. So I believe that he just placed it right on the button and reactivated something that I went through in training camp. And I just had to deal with it, you know. I remember when my nose was bleeding against Diego Chavez, and it just, it didn't bother me too much. I just was focused and just trying to put some pressure on him, land some counters. But he was quite conservative and herky-jerky. And, you know, I started to do better later on in the fight. I really thought I was putting some pressure on him, but my numbers just weren't up to par.